Hey everybody, welcome back to another review. I always say that. Can't think of a more exciting intro, but anyway, I just like to jump right into whatever I'm doing. I don't want to sit here and chat too much. I've been a little chatty lately though. Okay, let's talk about what's on my lips and what's on my nails, and then I'll get into the review that you came here for. On my lips, I have this Revlon Colorstay Longwear Lip Liner in nude. I really love it. I just barely picked it up at Target because I wanted a new one, and it's got really good lasting power. I feel like I've worn it for the last couple days. And then the other Maracuja Juicy Lip Plump Gloss. It's kind of like a liquid lipstick that you pump, and this is in mixed berries and it's from Tarte, and I'm loving these. They really are very juicy and glossy, and they are plumping too. So I think I might pick up some more colors of these because I've really enjoyed it. I don't think mixed berries is the name. I will put the correct name in the link down below because it feels like the descriptions are listed on here and not the names. I'm confused about that. Love this one. On my nails, I'm wearing Give Me Sugar, and this is from the new China Glaze Hello Sugar collection. I hate saying that. Love this peachy coral. It's amazing. The whole collection is amazing. I have a review. If you haven't checked it out, check that out. I'll link it down below. Okay, so we're here to talk about the ZOYA Toasty collection. This has been around for a while. I'm a little bit slow getting this review up, but I wanted to jump in some of the spring collections that I was excited about. But it's got some really nice fall winter vibes. The colors are warm and toasty. This collection was sent to me from Beyond Polish. It is available there now. You can use my code GOLARI10, of course, for a 10% discount. Thank you for shopping off my affiliate link. I really appreciate you guys. You're amazing. Back in the day, I used to pick up ZOYA polishes all the time, and I just kind of got away from picking them up. I don't know, I just got more into SE and OPI, but I forget how amazing their formulas are. All these formulas are so nice. I did have a couple bottles that leaked, and so they were a little bit thicker, so I feel like they're probably not as thick as they really are in real life when they didn't leak and get air into them. I think all these live swatches I'm going to show you are basically one coat because that's how amazing ZOYA is, but some of them pretty much might be two. I'd kind of prefer doing two, but sometimes on my live swatches I like to show you guys how amazing they are in one coat, and sometimes I'll just do that. Okay, let's get into the polishes. I don't even have the polishes here. Let me go grab them. The first one I have here is Abigail, and it's this gorgeous warm gray kind of cement color. Probably a little more beige than gray actually, and it's just really nice. I love colors like this, especially in the fall and winter. In the summer I like brighter colors, but this one's just really nice. It's got a nice formula. This is one of the bottles that did leak, so my formula is a little bit thick, I think thicker than usual, so I'm showing you one coat I believe, which is amazing, but I have a feeling you'll probably want to do two coats. I need to add a little bit of thinner to this. And people ask me all the time what thinner I like. I like to use the Beauty Secrets nail polish thinner, and I'll link that down below. But for my Glisten and Glow top coat, by the way, which I use on all my swatches, which is amazing and glossy and plump, I like to use their brand of the polish thinner for that specific top coat. Those are the two thinners that I use, and I'll link them down below. I'll add some to this bottle, but it's just amazing with an amazing formula. Not super original. I'm going to show you polishes and other lines that are close to this. I'm not going to have a lot of ZOYA. Well, I don't think I have really any ZOYA comparisons because I probably only have like 30 bottles of ZOYA polish, so I didn't have really any comparisons to pull for you, so I'm sorry about that, but I just pulled out ones that I had from other brands. Comparisons. I compared it to OPI Nature Strong Dawn of a New Gray, and it's a little darker and a little more gray, but that one's pretty close. And then Take It Outside is pretty much exact. Obviously this is an amazing polish. This is one of my favorite Essie polishes of their gray polishes, and so obviously that's why I like Abigail. If you're wanting to try out ZOYA and you have some favorite Essie polishes that you want to have in that brand, then this is a good one to get. And then Essie Without a Stitch is more of a cool gray and possibly a little bit lighter. So hopefully it gives you an idea of what kind of color tone that it is, but I really thought this was a great one. Next we have Crystal, and this is along the same lines, but I feel like it has a little bit more purple in it than this one, so I'll just show them to you here. They're pretty close actually. This one's a little bit more gray. This has a touch more purple in it. I like this one a little bit more just because it is a shade darker, and so it had a little bit more contrast on my skin, but it's a beautiful polish with an amazing formula as always with ZOYA, and it's just so creamy. It goes on, I would say 1 to 2 coats depending on how you want to apply it, but It is so pretty. So I did a few sets of comparisons for this one. So my first comparison, I compared it to Chinchilla, which is a little darker, but has a very similar tone. And then OPI Peace of Mind, one of my favorites from last year and my top 5 of the new releases. That one's lighter and similar. It has a little bit more gray in it, and this has a more kind of crelly formula compared to this one also. And then Topeless Beach is close, but more gray. And then my second set, I pulled out Orly You're Blushing because I remembered that one and I was like, oh, I bet that one's close. And that one's very close. It's maybe a touch lighter, but that's probably the closest that I did find. Essie Gel Couture Take Me to Thread, I wanted to show you that one's darker and more plum. So even though this one crystal has purple in it, it's not as plum as some of the other ones. So it was hard to find anything super exact to it. Easily Suede is darker and more brown. So hopefully that helps you to kind of see where it sits on that color spectrum, but I really did love this one and I'll definitely be pulling it out in the fall. And then we have Ray, which is this beautiful mauvey nude shade. I have to admit that I hardly ever, if never, wear these kind of shades. I just don't like nude polishes. It's just not my thing. But it's got a lovely formula. It's going to be opaque in 1 to 2 coats and it just builds up so nicely. So it has that going for it. I think if you have really dark skin, these kind of colors are just amazing. So if I had darker skin, I would definitely be wearing this one, but it just doesn't look good on my color tone. And I have a lot of purple undertones, and so sometimes I have to be careful about what mauvey purples that I wear. Let's get into the comparisons that I have, because it was kind of hard for me to find one exact to this. So I compared it to Morgan Taylor Be Free, and that one's the closest, but it's more pink tone. I thought Eternal Optimist would be pretty close, but that one's more red toned, a little bit brighter. And then OPI Rice Baby, an amazing polish, is more mauve. I actually like that one. That is one that I have, but that one's a little bit different than this one. I pulled out Taupe of the Line from the Essie Gel Couture collection, and I decided not to paint that on there, but it's lighter and more purple than this. So this one was kind of interesting. I'll let you guys decide if you want it. And then we have Hattie. Love that name, so cute. And this is a more pink tone mauve, and it's a little bit brighter, but it's still pretty grayed out and subtle, like all the polishes are in this collection, a little bit smoky. I like this one a little bit better. It does stand out a little bit more on my skin tone. It has a good formula. Of course, it's going to be opaque in 1 to 2 coats that you will see here. I probably just did one, and let's look at the comparisons. I did a comparison with this one to Ray just because they are pretty close, but they're not exactly the same. And then Eternal Optimist is super close to Hattie, maybe a touch lighter, I want to say. And then OPI Nature Strong Knowledge is Flower. Looked kind of similar in the bottles when I pulled it out, but that one's quite a bit more of a brighter mauve pink. This one's Eloyne. It's a really nice smoky berry raisin shade, and I love these kind of shades, and I love the smokiness in this one. It's rich and smoky at the same time, which is amazing. I'll want to be wearing this one in the fall for sure. It does make you feel very cozy and toasty, but right now I'm in the mood for spring. I'm tired of being cozied up in my house. I want to be out in the sunshine. It's my fault for getting this review up a little bit later. This one's interesting. So it is a little bit smoky and also rich, but it's not totally crelly. So it's a nice cream, but it's really glossy and quite opaque. It's going to build up in 2 coats. So I wanted to compare this to Bahama Mama, and that one's the closest, but it is more raspberry. And then Olive and June Essie looked really close in the bottle, but when you paint it on, it definitely has more red undertones. And then Swing of Things by Essie is a little bit more purple, but that's definitely the closest. Love that Essie polish. So of course I love this one, but this one does just have a little bit of smokiness to it, which sets it apart just a little bit. So I did find this one really interesting and I love it. And then we have Aura, and this is a beautiful, also dusty purple. I'll compare it to this one. While this one has some red tones in it, this one is definitely more purple leaning, which I love too. And this one has a little bit of smokiness to it as well. It is really pretty too, especially for fall. And it has a nice, a little bit more crelly-ish, a little bit more glossy formula, I would say, than Eloyne. And let's get into those comparisons. So I compared it to Kimono go over, and that one's darker and maybe not as dusty. And then Skating on Thin Iceland is more red toned, and then Hazy Days is more purple by Essie. It was really hard for me to find something that compared to this one exactly. And I took a picture of all these colors together just so you could see all the different tones that I had to work with and how it just wasn't exactly the same. And when you paint them on the nails and it's a little bit darker, then you can't see those differences as much just because it's darker and more rich, so you don't see the slight differences. And so I wanted to take this picture so you guys could see the differences that I was seeing and the trouble that I was having finding something totally exact to it. But this one was warm and toasty and beautiful as well. Okay, favorites. I don't know. I think it's hard for me to pick favorites right now because I'm just so in the mood for spring. But I would say, okay, I can do it. I would say these two are my favorite. The more red toned dark one called Eloyne, and then this one that's a little bit darker, more purple, Crystal of this taupey purple color. These are my two favorites from the collection. Let me know if you guys are big ZOYA fans. I'd love to know down below. Comment down below and let me know if you shop for them. I'm going to be trying to pick up more collections. I know I said that a while ago and hadn't really gotten to them, but I do really love the brand and I do want to expand a little bit more on my reviews, and hopefully you guys are enjoying that. That's it. Don't forget to comment and like and subscribe, and I'm so grateful that you're here. Thank you for being here with me, and we will see you next time. Bye guys.